100 Days as an Engineer in Minecraft's Industrial Revolution. During these 100 days, I'll be starting a village and advancing my tech, all while battling invasions, robots, and insane weather. And all of this based around the most popular crafting add-on mod, Immersive Engineering. No time to like or subscribe. Let's get into the video. I spawned into the world in this nice and soggy bog biome. After putting out a fire in a nearby forest, I found a village with two Techtopia farmers. After watching the farmers, I ran around an immersive engineering house. Around the house, there were these immersive engineering storage crates. These are essentially discount shulker chests full of items. I also found a hammer in front of the door. After running around the village, I found a glowing item in an item frame. I punched it, and it was a Home 2 token from Techtopia. Shortly afterwards, I found a heart token inside a villager house. This token is used to summon a child in your village. Then I plopped down my bed and slept. After waking up the next day, I ran into the storage room and stole a few emeralds from the villagers. After looting the blacksmith, I ran off into the wild and quickly, with the help of editing, flew through a large chunk of the quest book. As soon as I got done being beat up by a zombie with a hand cannon, I found a beautiful little penguin. Using the Carry On mod, I was able to pick up the penguin, and I took it with me on my adventures for a short while. I then looted this mine shaft, which had some insane loot, and ran off into the wilderness, looking for a place to call home. I will use this time to apologize for no in-game audio, but my recording software got corrupted. After running for a while, I found this beautiful seasonal forest, and I debated settling here, but I decided to press on. After running for the rest of the day, I found a beautiful plains biome to settle. So I plopped down on my bed and fell asleep. I had to evict the residents of my soon-to-be house somehow. I mean, this is just one way to do it. I'm going to use this time to talk about ore excavation. This mod allows me to vein mine a specific type of block, and it's super useful in clearing areas and mining. My current goal is to make a few items from building gadgets to allow me to paste in my town hall. I built it in a creative world, but this machine allows me to use items I obtain in-game and build my village with a blueprint. I spent the rest of the day placing down a chest and crafting an iron pick. Then I accidentally released the first bit of pollution from some coal that I mined. Then, the scariest thing all episode happened. A blood moon started. Blood moons make mobs spawn more frequently and closer to you. Luckily, I ran into the cave to gather materials and hide all night. If it's okay with you guys, I'm going to be skipping most of the mining in this episode because I feel like it's extremely boring. I am uploading an unedited copy of this entire playthrough to YouTube, so if you really want to see me mine, you can. As I was leaving the caves, I pillared up and my worst nightmare happened. A creeper knocked me off my pillar and I died. I ended up spending all day just getting back to my gravestone. After grabbing my stuff, I dumped off all the ores I had mined into my chests. I then gathered a bunch of clay and sand and smelted some to make bricks. This would allow me to make two machines I'd been trying to craft, the coal coke oven and the alloy kiln. I then went to bed. On day 4, I made the alloy kiln. This would aid me in making the items from building gadgets to begin my village. After making the alloy kiln, I realized I would need gold and silver, two things I don't have, to begin making my gadgets. So I came to the grim conclusion I would need to go mining again. Shortly into mining, I found diamonds. But those weren't the only ones. I ended up finding even more diamonds than just these. However, the joyful mood didn't last long. My pickaxe broke and I got stranded inside my mineshaft. It took me 30 minutes IRL just to escape from it. When I finally escaped from the mineshaft, I started crafting a coal coke oven. This oven takes coal and turns it into coal coke and creosote oil. I needed creosote oil to make the gadgets. Unfortunately for me, I had to go back into the mines to get gold. Even after that entire long mining session, I still had not found some. Into my mining session, just a couple minutes later, I found more diamonds. I don't know what it is. Right now, diamonds are more common than gold. Finally, though, I was able to find gold, and I quickly left the mine shaft. As soon as I made it back to my base, I jumped into my bed and promptly fell asleep. On day 6, I started work on making the 2 gadgets that I would need to start building my village. After a lot, and I mean a lot of microcrafting, I was almost there. I want to take this time to tell you guys how much I appreciate you watching this video. This is my first ever video on this channel, and I do hope that you guys are liking it. Please let me know if there's anything I should change down in the comments. Now, after all this work, and every single one of these machines, I had done it. I had finally crafted the template manager. The template manager would allow me to load all of the buildings I had made and to get them into this world. However, I still needed a copy-paste gadget. After even more microcrafting and so many different resources used, I was finally seeing some progress. If you guys want to play this mod pack for yourselves, the link to it is down in the description. I also have a Discord server and a public Minecraft server, meaning you can play with other players on this mod pack. Now, the time has come to craft this gadget. And it's done, or is it? I also needed to make a charging station to charge the gadget. After making that, I went to bed. After sleeping on day 7, I crafted a windmill and a weather deflector. The windmill will help me generate power, while the weather deflector will prevent tornadoes from tearing apart my land. They will still spawn, but they won't damage blocks directly. After even more microcrafting, including making a manual rolling machine, I was able to craft the kinetic dynamo. After placing it down, I attached my windmill to it. To connect the power from the windmill to my machines, I needed to make low voltage wires. When you're connecting machines, you need to have connectors on each machine and power source. You can then add a relay to split the connection between multiple machines. After, you need to connect everything with wires. Unfortunately for me, the immersive engineering charging station was not working. This turned out to just be a visual glitch, but at the time I did not know that. I ended up spending the rest of the day running around to try to go to the Nether to get an alternative solution to my issue. However, something tragic occurred. While mining obsidian, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, I fell into the lava. Yes, another death. When I respawned, I ended up sleeping, and I went to go gather my stuff. I ended up starting to craft a nether portal before realizing that my charging station was working. After getting my gadget working, I spawned in the blueprint for my town hall. All I needed to do now was build it. Before I could get too excited though, an invasion started. While fighting off mobs and trying not to die, I was able to craft a basic turret to aid me in this invasion of zombies. Unfortunately, that singular turret was not enough to stop me from dying. Multiple zombies ganged up on me and they stabbed me in the back. The next morning on day 9, I chopped a couple of trees and began work on my town hall. To make the town hall, I would need lots of spruce and oak wood. I also had to manually till an entire farm to allow for my village to have food before I made a designated greenhouse. I also needed a ton of spruce wood, so I spent the rest of the day gathering it. After, I went to bed. On day 10, I added a bunch of spruce wood to my town hall and went to the nearby forest. There, I cut down a bunch of spruce and oak trees. After returning back to my base, I continued to work on my town hall. I added a bunch of windows, and I also added a bunch of oak wood to the building. After that, I added even more windows and a bunch of slabs, giving me a roof. And as the sun began to set on day 10, I placed an item frame and a town hall, starting my village. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support. Join my Discord server to be able to play this mod pack with others, or have fun going solo and download this on CurseForge. Have fun and see you guys next time.